Welcome, everybody.
Hello.
How's everybody doing? Got your safety, I see some familiar faces and some new faces. Look forward to meeting you, to those that haven't met. My name is Brian Bodenheimer. I'm going to be the MC. I'm the replacement MC. You would love the guy. He was supposed to be here doing it. I know Josh has met him and James. One problem we had is we had James Montgomery, who's the founder of Food by the Word with his sister Luane, and James left. Unfortunately, came down with COVID. He has a pregnant wife, so we're trying to keep him safe, her safe, the baby safe. So say a little prayer for him if you guys are inclined to pray. Welcome to this event. We've been looking forward to it. James and I have talked about it for several months. I mean, if you're anywhere on social media, you've seen something about this, I'm sure, because he's been on getting this organized. So we're going to have a few speakers today. It's all about health, and it's a pleasure. I've known two of our speakers for a few years. Beginning with Sensei here, Marvin Massey. He's going to get up here and talk in a couple minutes. It's going to be 20 minutes. It's going to be kind of like the TED Talks, if you guys are familiar with that. So 20 minutes to talk, and then about 10, 15 minutes to answer the Q&A. And I encourage you all to write down questions and pick their brains and their vast knowledge of their expertise. I don't sound excited, but I've been bouncing up and down about this for a few weeks now. Thank you for giving me the opportunity.
You're welcome.
To be part of this.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you for coming. Wouldn't miss it, right? We've been doing this for a little while, right? For those of you who don't know me, I'm a John Maxwell trainer. We talk about how to communicate, how to network, and really what we want to do is help you be a better person with leadership. And I think everybody in here is a leader in one way or another. What we try to do is pull out what your niche is. And one of the questions I'm going to ask you guys to think about today is, what is your why? I'm not going to give you any other part of it. You guys think about what your why is, and we'll talk about that. And maybe we can do a one-on-one later, and we'll go deep. And Josh knows doesn't end with the first why, does it? First one's kind of like, it's almost like a vision statement you might have thought of, but in the end, it goes much deeper. It's kind of get personal. So I'm going to ask you that. We can talk about that later. Well, let's get going here. What we're going to do is we're going to introduce Sensei Massey first. He has been the founder of Massey Martial Arts. I think the guy's called Brooks School, and depending on which side you're coming from, either 96 or Fall Creek, they kind of connect. It turns into one or the other. But he started that in 2010. Prior to that, he's done a lot of different things, but he's a veteran from the Army, so I'd like to give it up for him doing that. He's also a believer. He's going to talk to you a lot about what that means to him, and talks about mind, body, and spirit. He's going to go deep into that, and talks about your time, talents, and treasures. And I'm not going to go a whole lot of what he's going to talk about. I'm going to let him do that. So with that, Sensei Massey.
Thank you, Brian. Lifestyle changes and food facts. Welcome, brothers and sisters. It's an honor and privilege to be invited to present to you this 2022 Health Symposium. I'm Marvin Massey, MD, PhD. I'm a teacher, lecturer, author, and health coach. Jesus said, teach, preach, and heal. And I do my best to follow his teaching. I've been teaching the Eastern arts of karate, tai chi, judo, and jiu-jitsu for about 37 years. I've been teaching the healing art of Reiki for approximately 20 years. Starting last year, I began teaching yoga and EFT, which is radiant therapy, which is the tapping. My purpose is to return to the source. My mission on earth is to serve others. We serve God by serving others. The more we give, the more we receive. It must come from an attitude of gratitude, from an abundance mentality. I believe in the 3 C's: Christianity, capitalism, and the Constitution. I wish to especially thank James Montgomery of Food by the Word for inviting me to share with you some of the knowledge I have gained over the years of study and research. Let your food be your medicine be your food. Hippocrates, the father of medicine. Give yourself the best nutrition you can, and let the healing be done by the greatest physician of all, your own body. Dr. Joel Waller. There's no such thing as a good food or a bad food. Some foods enhance the health of your body. Some foods detract from the health of your body. No food is morally good or morally bad. The food itself is just neutral. I have to write a script or I will ramble on.
Right ahead.
Ramble on.
We like it, we love it.
There's a saying that you are what we eat. Okay, we need to update that by saying and stating that you are what you eat. Not only what you eat, but what you digest and assimilate. 3 phases of eating are ingestion, digestion and assimilation, and elimination. Phase 1, ingesting food, eating, chewing, swallowing our food. Phase 2, digestion and assimilation. Digestion begins in the brain. Studies show that 30 to 40% of digestion is in the brain. Now, if we eat too fast, the brain does not have a chance to enjoy the food and thinks it is still hungry and reaches for more food. Remember, when you see your favorite food, how your mouth starts to water or salivate. Let's do an exercise. Everybody close your eyes. I want you to visualize a nice yellow lemon. Now I want you to think about biting into that lemon. What does that do to your taste buds? What does that do to your tongue? What does that make you pucker up when you bite into that sour lemon? Just thinking about the bitter taste of lemon makes you pucker. Okay? Hello, Dave. Welcome. Eat slowly, chewing and tasting the food to gain pleasure from your food. Our bodies are designed to seek pleasure and avoid pain. So go slow and enjoy. As you begin chewing, the saliva will mix with the enzymes to break down the foods. As the food enters the digestive tract, more enzymes aid the process. The stomach begins to churn and digest the food. The small intestine is responsible for the absorption and assimilation. There's one more aspect of proper digestion. Vitamin O. Oxygen. Slow down and breathe. Breathe before, during, and after your meal. Take 3 deep breaths before you eat and relax. This could be one of the most important things you could add to your meal, better than salt and pepper. Phase 3, elimination. Unabsorbed food passes into the large intestine, where most of the water is reabsorbed in the bloodstream, and the remaining matter is eliminated. Food today is far removed from what our grandparents ate. All foods were organically grown. There were no artificial fertilizers, pesticides, herbicides, antibiotics, or genetically modified seeds. Thank you, Monsanto, for Roundup. Foods were grown locally, picked right, and usually consumed within a few days of being picked. Our soil was rich in nutrients and minerals. Our bodies require 60 to 70 minerals a day for just a bag of minerals. There are 7 major essential minerals. Calcium is the most important and most abundant mineral in our body, followed by phosphorus, sulfur, potassium, sodium chloride, and magnesium. Magnesium is very important for absorption of calcium. Essential trace minerals are iron, zinc, copper, iodine, and selenium. Manganese and also chromium. There are 6 categories of nutrients for the body, water being the most essential, followed by carbohydrates, lipids, proteins, vitamins, and minerals. Ingesting raw foods is recommended. Cooking has a tendency to destroy enzymes. Ingesting single ingredient foods is best. I return to our grandparents' diet. Cattle, fowl, fish were not fed on natural diets of corn, soy, antibiotics, growth hormones, food calories, or raised in feedlots and fish hatcheries. Reds were not brominated, chlorinated, enriched with synthetic vitamins, or preserved. Healthy fats like butter, lard, coconut, and palm oil were used on a daily basis. Veggies were eaten. Uh-oh, guess what? French fries is not a veggie. 1950s orange had 50 milligrams of vitamin C. Today's orange has only 5 milligrams. Foods did not have a shelf life of 3+ years. Now to accomplish this, the manufacturers have to remove some enzymes to get this shelf life. Also make a note, because the antibiotics used in animal food sources, it is recommended we have a daily intake of probiotics. What are enzymes? Enzymes are energy, and energy is defined in high school physics textbook as the capacity to do work. Enzymes are proteins and require cofactors or coenzymes, which are vitamins and minerals, to become functioning enzymes. There's 2 groups of enzymes, digestive and metabolic. 3 main digestive enzymes are amylase, protease, and lipase. Digestive enzymes break down food particles for energy. This chemical reaction is called hydrolysis and uses water to break down the chemical bonds in food and turns them into energy. The 3 main food groups are proteins, fats, and carbohydrates or sugar. Protease breaks down protein for digestion. The amylase will break down the carbs and the sugar. Lipase will break down the fats for digestion. As powerful as enzymes are, they require help from other substances to be fully active, and these are called coenzymes. The most important coenzymes are B-complex vitamins, vitamin C, vitamin E, and the mineral zinc. Some foods that have high content of enzymes are avocados, papayas, pineapples, bananas, and mangoes. I personally supplement with vitamins and minerals and herbs on a daily basis. How we eat is very important. We should be relaxed, aware, stress-free. No telephone, no TV, no reading, just eating. Be aware of what you're eating. Studies show that eating while standing up also can lead to weight gain, while sitting down does not have the same effect. HALT. H-A-L-T. When we're hungry, angry, lonely, or tired, we can become stressed. Eating under stress will activate the flight or fight center, which releases cortisol into the bloodstream, and that signals the body to store fat. Stress weakens our immune system so that we cannot fight off infections and viruses. It is proven that 60 to 80% of our immune system is in our gut. A healthy gut is created with good flora or bugs are at 85%, and the bad flora is at 15%. There's a simple gut-friendly way to strengthen our immune system naturally. Studies show that by ingesting probiotics daily, you can help your non-specific immune response as in overall resilience. This has been shown to reduce respiratory tract infections by 47% and cut recovery time from symptoms by almost 2 days, 1.89 days. Immunity is like our body's power to defend our defense system against foreign infection or disease, causing viruses and other pathogens. When we come in contact with a pathogen, our immune system mounts a response to eliminate it from our body. An effective immune system uses inflammation to eliminate the invader from our body. Support your system to function optimally by eating a balanced diet, regular exercise, and getting proper sleep. What we eat, the foods that nourish us. Always eat the best quality foods that you can possibly find. When we eat, allow the natural rhythm of the day, AM, midday, PM. Follow this natural rhythm. The old axiom states eat like a king or queen at noon, and like a pauper for the evening meal. When the sun is at the zenith or the high in the sky, that's the time our metabolism is operating at its best. This is the time when our digestive juices are flowing at their maximum. They figure this somewhere between 12 and 1:30, so that's when you should eat your biggest meal.
Yep.
Why do we eat? From necessity and habit. We eat to maintain a healthy body. Sometimes we change our diet because we're not feeling well. Sometimes we binge on food and use it as an escape like a drug. But mostly we eat for energy. Some foods to avoid: French fries, donuts, chips, anything fried. Processed and non-fiber carbohydrates, white flour, pasta, and bread. Corn, soy, and meat products. More than 90% of all corn, soy, and meat products have been genetically engineered. Shellfish, farm fish, tuna, and salmon contain antibiotics. Try to consume only wild-caught fish. Tuna is especially dangerous because it holds a lot of mercury in it. Smoked meats, lunch meats, bacon, hot dogs, sausages contains nitrates and nitrites. Pork might be high in parasites. Carbonated drinks, of course, contain your high fructose corn syrup. Refined sugar, use natural sugar sparingly. I recommend Splenda. The Japanese also found out that Splenda has health benefits in addition to being a good sweetener. It doesn't work so good when you're using it for baking or cooking. But just as a food additive, and put some on top, it's very good. Welcome. Additives to avoid: parsley and hydrogenated oil, which makes trans fatty acids. Canola oil, which is canola oil, is a genetically modified product and contains trans fatty acids. Canola oil is derived from the rapeseed plant. By nature, rapeseed oils are toxic to humans and other animals. I read an article one time about some cattle that the rapeseed grows like a weed beside the road. Yeah, believe it. I mean, if a cow won't eat something, you know, you've got to pay attention to it, right? Food processors have switched to canola because it's the cheapest oil available. Remember, read your labels. Read the labels. May be good today, and they might change it tomorrow for economic reasons or availability reasons. We're having a lot of trouble today with our food chain, with our chains of kitty stuff. So they're modifying things. So continue, read your labels on a regular basis. Aspartame and other artificial sweeteners. Artificial sweeteners contribute to chronic high insulin. This increases your risk for heart disease, diabetes, and other health problems. Artificial sweeteners trick the brain into feeling hungry and increase appetite, which can lead to weight gain. Artificial sweeteners can lead to weight gain as they have a tendency to lower our metabolism, which is directly associated with weight gain. Both obesity and diabetes are considered independent factors for memory problems and several forms of dementia. Dementia, Alzheimer's disease is attacking young people now. There are people that are being diagnosed with it in their 30s. It used to be an older folks thing, but not necessarily anymore. So pay attention to everything you put in your body and on your body counts. Both obesity. Note, we are the most obese nation on earth. Obesity contributes to diabetes, stroke, and heart attack. Obesity and overweight are the new normal for citizens of the United States of America. The statistics from the CDC show that 71.6% of Americans fall into these two categories, overweight or obesity. 40% of all cancer diagnoses are associated with obesity. Since the 1970s, the percentage of children and adolescents affected by obesity has more than tripled. For the first time in modern history, our children are expected to live shorter lives than their parents. We're overfed and undernourished. thanks to the American diet. The abbreviation American Standard American Diet is SAD. Aspartame, sucrose, saccharin, neotame all have toxic effects on the gut bacteria and flora, which can lead to Alzheimer's and other dementias. Corn syrup, high fructose corn syrup. This is mentioned again because it's so bad for your body, because it also contributes to a fatty liver. The body is made for movement, so we must become, and we have become a sedentary culture. We sit too much. According to the Mayo Clinic and Harvard Medical School, sitting is the new smoking. Our lymph system. She just kicked the habit. Our lymph glands work and remove waste from the body when we are moving. Moderate exercise is recommended. So just go for a walk 3 or 4 times a week. Take part in a Tai Chi class. Do yoga once a week. These are gentle exercises. Do dancing, play basketball, join a gym. Get into an exercise class. Exercise your brain by reading 10 pages a day. Be dedicated to learning. Learn something new every day. Like we talked about that already. Yeah. Proper sleep is necessary for health. 6 to 8 hours a night is recommended. When we sleep, we heal. Everybody's different. Everybody requires a different amount. You find out that sleep when you feel the best. When you wake up, you want to feel refreshed in the morning. That's when we do our healings, when we sleep. Albert Einstein was a genius. In his latter years, he said he slept about 10 hours each night. So I try to follow his lead, if I can. 10 hours. Now, water. Drink 1/2 of your body weight in ounces. Your brain requires water. Attitude is everything, so pick a good one. Excuse me, have an attitude of gratitude. Find something every day you can be thankful for. What you think about, you bring about. We cannot always choose what happens to us. However, we can choose how we respond to what happens to us. Excuse me. The brain thinks, but the heart knows. Forgive those who have done you wrong. Forgiving others sets us free. Forgiveness is the doorway to healing. Forgiving others is important because we all have done things that we wish we had not done. Forgiving ourselves is important. We have all done wrong to others through our actions, deeds, thoughts, words. We've all been judgmental of others. So just forgive yourself of all the wrongdoings in your past. We cannot change ourselves, but we can change ourselves, but we cannot change others. Gandhi said, be the change you see. Dr. Wayne Dyer said, when we change, the world changes. The Bible has reference to the 3 T's. Time, talents, and treasure. Notice the first thing listed is time. The most important thing you give to your friends and family is your time.
Amen.
The saying goes, there's only 2 things, time and money. You make more money, you can't make more time.
Mm-hmm.
Slow down and enjoy your life more. The past is history, the future is a mystery. This moment is a gift. That's why it's called the present. Slow down and just breathe. Studies show that 85 to 90% of all doctor's visits are stress-related. Many of the people in the U.S. today are chronically stressed. Consider meditation. Studies indicate that meditation can lower stress. Some studies indicate that money is one of the primary stressors. We stress we do not have enough money, we're worried about how to get more. We stress we have too much money, we're worried how to keep from losing it. As a society, we are deeply in debt. Debt is done, cash is king. The debtor is slave to the lender. Proverbs 22:7. In a world where you can be anything, be kind. This is the first day of the rest of your life. What are you going to do different today than you did yesterday? We cannot do the same thing today as we did yesterday and expect a different outcome. This is the day the Lord hath made. Let's give thanks and be glad. Affirmations are short phrases that affect the subconscious mind and both feelings, behaviors, and attitudes. Our beliefs are what guide us. Okay? We move on what we believe. When we look at something, it's a perception. They can help you to reprogram existing behaviors and thoughts with the correct affirmations. Use positive affirmations to help you achieve your goals. When using affirmations, always begin in the present tense. Begin with the two greatest words in the dictionary: I am. There are some theories that said that's how God created Earth. It said, I am. Look, everybody stand there for a second. Stand up. Sit. Remember that. Remember. All together now. Repeat after me. I am healthy.
I am healthy.
I am happy.
I am happy.
Oh, that sounds so good. One more time. I am healthy.
I am healthy.
I am happy.
I am happy.
Our body tells us early on when there's a problem. Normally it's pain. Everybody's different. And each of us must find what works for us. Health is your birthright. Your first freedom. Time to stand up and fight for your health. Avoid microwaves and EMFs, electromagnetic forces. Ritual and repetition can help you lower your stress. Michael Jordan always wore his North Carolina basketball shorts under his NBA shorts. That's a ritual. Ben Franklin, even though he was an author, printer, politician, postmaster, scientist, inventor, statesman, and diplomat, he followed the exact same schedule every day. Repetition. Of course, we want to create good habits that serve us well. Now, Ben Franklin said, let your vocation be your vacation. Would you do what you're doing now for free? Are you passionate about your job, what you're doing? Do you love what you're doing? An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Also, Ben Franklin. You realize that Ben Franklin is the second most quoted source, second only to the Bible. And old Ben only had 10th grade education. He didn't get out of high school. Doctor and the future would give no medication, but would interest his patients' care to get him framed, diet, and the cause of prevention of disease. This was Thomas A. Edison, they think, well. One of my favorite guys, Napoleon Hill. Where the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. The magic word here is believe. If you believe it, you can make it happen. Our mind is our most powerful pharmacy. What you think about, you bring about. I am the author of the book, American Lifestyle 21st Century. In this book, I cover many of the lifestyle changes necessary for good health, healthy life, happy life. Anyone interested in acquiring one of these books, I have a few on hand. Some of you already have them. I can only take cash and check. I don't have the ability to take a credit card, so I pray that you find a nugget of wisdom in this presentation. Just take away one thing that can help your life. One thing. Anytime you go to any lecture, you watch any presentation, just take what you want, leave the rest. Thank you. God bless you. And God bless America.
So Marvin has time to take some questions for you, so I'm sure saw a lot of heads nodding as Marvin.
That's because I put them to sleep.
You give him
That's
nuggets.
always a possibility. Anybody have questions?
Yeah, I got a question. What motivated you to become who you are? Normally, what motivated you to be who you are? Normally in a person's life, something happens that, they turn down this road, etc. How did you get to where you're at?
I don't know what I want to be when I grow up. but it's very interesting. One thing that motivated me was my kids in karate class. I preached to my kids, get an education, get an education, get an education. And several of them would look at me and say, well, Sensei, where'd you go to college? I didn't get to go. And after about the 15th child asked me this question, I felt embarrassed that I was not walking the talk. So I got busy and went back to classes. And I took massage therapy, reflexology. Then I went to get my bachelor's degree online. So I got my bachelor of my BS in holistic health. And I thought, got the diploma. This is pretty cool. So I looked around and I said, oh. So I found a Trinity College up here in northern Indiana, and they're health related. So I went and studied, took my master's in herbology. I said, man, I'm on a roll. So I just jumped in there and said, some of these classes will roll over into my doctor of naturopathic. So I just signed up for that class. I mean, it just kind of happened, just kept flowing. And then I got done and I said, that's pretty cool. I said, oh. Then all of a sudden, I saw this ad for New Eden School of Natural Medicine up in South Bend, Indiana. I checked it out. I said, okay, I signed up for the PhD.
Wow.
I did that. Along the way, I got ordained and as a minister.
It sounds like the students turned the switch for it. They sparked.
Pardon?
Your students in karate, is it Taekwondo, sparked the
Yes.
inner, motivation.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, because divine or God will give you inspiration. But you have to act on it. Okay. He will give you a thought or an action, but you got to get off your butt and do something about it. Okay? You got to follow that inclination, that intuition. Okay? And the universe likes speed. I want you to get up and do something now. And what you think about, I'll get that next week. The brain only understands present tense. Okay? Only think about now. Sir?
Yes, I was going to ask, you had mentioned that you recommended Splenda, but I'm wondering if, was it stevia, like Splenda? You said Splenda. You said Splenda.
I meant stevia.
Okay, good.
I beg your pardon.
Yeah.
Stevia.
Ask about that later. I was gonna ask you
No, stevia, I beg your pardon. Yes, absolutely. Yes, ma'am.
So you were talking about the stevia being okay and like drinks and stuff like that. And one of the things that I've found over the last several years, because I have a family that has a history of diabetics, is using monk fruit. I took out all the sugar and substituted monk fruit, which is good for people. It has no HGMOs. It does not affect the glucose level in your body. And you can use it to bake, cook, just like you do anything else, because I used it I made candy because my dad loved cookies and stuff, so that's one of the reasons why I switched to monk fruit. But I even made like caramel and stuff with it.
Was there stevia?
No, it's called monk fruit, and it's
Monk
monk
fruit.
Okay, yeah, I heard that.
and it tastes the same, and you can use it interchange. I mean, instead of using regular processed sugar, which isn't good for you, because like you said, it feeds cancer and any other inflammatory disease. But the monk fruit, you can use it for cooking, for drinks, for whatever you want, and you do not know the difference. And it's the same ratio as you would use in sugar.
Good.
So it's granulated?
Mm-hmm.
I think
It looks and tastes and measures just like regular processed sugar, but it's not. And but it's not. It has no effect on glucose or any of the other diseases or anything.
The first chapter of my book is called The White Menace. So it talks about sugar. sugar is as addictive as cocaine.
Yep.
You know, it just is. And your body is hardwired for sugar. The very first taste bud on your tongue is for sweet. Now, they've also found taste buds down your throat, even down the esophagus, that have sweet receptors on them. They didn't know were there prior to about 10 years ago. So it's difficult not to eat sugar, not to eat sweet stuff, because we crave it. Yes.
What are some good, if you were to try to like red meat alternatives or like lean meat, what would be some good meats to do? Because like, I love protein. Protein is like what I need, but I also need iron in my body. Like I'm iron deficient. So do you know anything that would be good to help me?
You gotta have protein.
Obviously.
Yeah, protein is very important for your body. As you get your amino acids, your enzymes are all based on protein. So, I ate personally, I would eat chicken and salmon.
Okay.
I mean, James is big on salmon too, I know that. But I eat wild caught salmon, I go and buy it at Moody's. Costs a little more. It's very interesting. I was in Kroger one day. I was buying some organic eggs. $4.95 for a dozen eggs, brown large eggs. And the lady next to me was the cabinet pulling out some eggs in this styrofoam thing for 99 cents. And she looked at me, she says, "Wow, that's expensive. This is better." She said, "Why are you spending that?" I said, "Wait a minute, I'm worth it." Maybe now or maybe later.
That's it.
It's up to you.
That's it.
You take care of your body now, and now, like I said, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. You put the right things in, you're going to get the right results. So it's very important to eat the best possible food you can.
So is it true, Marvin, that darker the yolk, the better it is?
I don't know. I've heard different philosophies on that. But you'll see that most of your free-range chickens have a dark, an orange yolk to them.
That's what we do.
That may be,
We always think of it.
yeah. And it has a little bit of a flavor to it, too, a little wang.
So Marvin, is ketchup a vegetable? I mean, schools say they use ketchup as an actual vegetable.
It doesn't have high fructose corn syrup in it, so look at it. It's very interesting. 5 years ago, Heinz said they were pulling out high fructose corn syrup out of their ketchup. And I periodically look at their bottle on the shelf, and I'm still waiting for them to do it. It's still on the label. So what they've done is they modified high fructose corn syrup to just corn syrup. Same crap. Pay attention. They're allowed to, the FDC allowed them to change the vernacular slightly. But they're still not any better for you.
I'm gonna tell you guys, definitely check out Marvin's book. Every single nugget in his book is something that I guarantee we all need to study, to reflect on, and the reading of it is so simple that you want to share it with your family. Read it with the kids. It's an awesome resource. It's not just a book. It's a resource that you'll use continually. As you go on your journey, whatever direction you're going on. Every bit of his book it's right to the point. It's clear and it's simple. It's a quick, easy read. So definitely, I encourage everybody to get one of his books. That's why I'm gonna keep telling everybody in the world until he's overwhelmed by self. Because the reality of it is I read a lot of different things, a lot of different articles, a lot of different books and so forth. He has watered it down to exactly what you really need and can use today. And he studied it, he's doctored in it and everything. And I'm gonna tell you, I hope and pray when I'm 81 years old that I have the mental clarity that he possesses right now. If I'm doing like that right there at 81, I'm a winner.
James, he's not 81.
18.
120.
I tell you what.
Wait a say, AKA Methuselah?
Wise like Moses.
Future goals right there.
So Marvin, one more question for you, and I hope more people have questions. You were talking about supplementation,
Yes.
right? So there's budgets, people have budgets, and so if you were to tell them to take 3 supplements, what 3 would you suggest?
Vitamin C,
So 2 more,
zinc,
okay?
selenium. But that's not enough. You gotta take vitamin B and vitamin E. Need to add 2 more. But, vitamin C is king of the AO, the antioxidants. Oxidation in your body is like rust on a car. As we get older, our cells oxidate. We reproduce. Every 8 years we have a new body. Our body cells are breaking down and reproducing. But every time it reproduces, it's just like you take a copy of something and put it in a machine to make a copy of it, and then you copy the copy, then you copy the copy, and all of a sudden the resolution gets lighter each time, doesn't it? And this is what happens to the cells in your body. As we replicate our cells, each time it's not quite as strong as the original one. It's a little weaker, a little less. So it behooves us to pay more attention to our diet as we get older. Put the correct stuff in there. So we can, that's when we use the antioxidants like vitamin E and vitamin C to slow down the oxidation.
Question over.
Speaking of supplements, since they're not regulated, how do you know you're getting the best quality or brand?
You have to just do research.
Read the label.
Do this research to find out if they have independent testing. Okay? There's different brands, and usually the good brands are the most expensive ones. And he talks about supplementation, and he spoke of being able to afford things.
But I'm worth it.
Huh? So, I would rather pay more now for supplements than have to buy prescription medicine later.
Amen.
I take no prescription medicine. So,
That's huge. That's huge. That's huge.
I invest all of my pharmacy dollars into supplements.
Elaine has a question.
Why is the doctor of melatonin, you have to have more vitamin D?
Vitamin D is good. Doctor told you you needed more vitamin D?
Oh, yeah, I use a lot of vitamin D. But why, the doctor of melatonin, you need more vitamin D?
Melatonin?
Mhm.
Oh, okay. Melatonin supports, vitamin D supports melatonin and serotonin. Melatonin is the nighttime one. It comes from produced in the pineal gland. And the serotonin is the one that happens in the daytime. It's like a feel-good drug. It's like people who have Parkinson's lose their own dopamine. They lose the feel-good drug. Now, Indiana, somebody said, go out in the sun, right? Indiana basically has 180 days of sunshine a year. Only half of our days have sunshine. 6 months we have limited sunshine. So I supplement with vitamin D. I take it personally, I take it every day.
Vitamin D3.
D3, yes.
Awesome.
More questions?
I heard her ask earlier, how much is your book?
Good.
Mm-hmm.
Today, $15.
$15? Okay.
You can
$20
give
bill, I
more,
got
you can
five.
say no.
And I have change for $20.
He felt the fail.